friends, welcome back to another crystal order packing video. Today I have some Shopify and Etsy orders to pack for my shop, Cosmic Geology. I just spent a little bit of time getting some things prepped for the orders so I don't have to do all the boring stuff. Like I cut out some info cards, which I actually still have to make 2 more and print those and cut them, but I did a little bit of them. And I also made some crystal art prints for an order that I got on Etsy. It always takes me a long time to print these out, so I just get that done ahead of time so I don't have to like fight with my printer in the middle of filming. Hopefully this will be a shorter order packing video than my recent ones because I don't have that much to ramble about today, so that's good for you if you just want to watch orders. I will address one thing though first, is that my hair is every possible different color right now because I'm in the process of lightening it, and I did it so spontaneously, so willy-nilly. I started with the front pieces. I started with this front piece and then this front piece, so they're a little different. And then I went just this side, and then I went this side and this side. So it's crazy right now, but I'm gonna bleach it again tonight. It's a work in progress. So I'm actually not mad about it. I think it's fun, but it is changing. Anyway, let's start with the Shopify orders first. We have order 7465. This is a very fun Eastery order. So they got a phosphosiderate egg, a celestite egg, a mystery tumblestone egg, a rose quartz egg, and an amethyst palm stone. So that means we get to make another mystery Easter egg. These eggs come with a bunch of little tumbles inside of them. It's a fun little mystery surprise egg. Here is the celestite egg. So pretty. I'm so nervous to ship it just because celestite is so fragile. Here we have the phosphosiderate egg. I had those for an Easter update like multiple years ago. I've had those for quite a while, and suddenly they've been popping off and people really like them. So only a couple of those left. And here is the rose quartz egg. They're super shimmery, super pretty. And the amethyst palm stone. This was a part of the amethyst agate palm stone bunch that I just got in the last shop update. But this one did not have any agate. It's just amethyst, but it is a really beautiful one. I just love making this sound. Okay, not that sound. That sound. Mystery tumblestone egg. So we're gonna go to the tumble table and pick out some tumbles for this order. I'm thinking, since it seems like a very Easter vibe order, maybe like pastel spring colors. Let's see. I don't have a set number of tumbles that I put in the mystery tumble eggs. It's entirely based on vibes. I'm thinking a lavender rose quartz would be nice. And flower agate. I have a couple flower agate tumbles left. They're not listed for sale. I just kind of have odds and ends of flower agate. Like I have these mini palm stones, and then I also have some mini spheres and little tumbles also. So it's just odds and ends that I either throw in as freebies or like in mystery things. So I think that's a nice one. I'm thinking maybe lepidolite. Purple, maybe a little garnet. Not that that's necessarily springy, but I think that's kind of fun. Maybe one more. How about serpentine? Because I always think of these pastel-y green serpentines as a very spring vibe. I've definitely had serpentine in a spring update in the past. How about this? That seems like a nice one. I like these spring colors. Sorry, my hands look so dry. I've been bleaching my hair like crazy. While I'm packing up this little egg with these Easter baskety crinkles, tomorrow's Easter, by the way, I wanted to update you on some things that I talked about in my last order packing video, because I was complaining about my car troubles, how I was trying to buy a new car. And great news, I said I was hoping I have good news next time, and I do. The good news is that I bought a car. I have a new car now. Not like new, but I bought a car. And I love my new car. I'm so excited. Everything went smoothly. I got it from CarMax. So I guess, rewind, I did end up selling my old car. I did scrap it. I used Pedal, which is, I guess, a company that works with local places, and they come and just pick up your car and they just write you a check for it. And it was great. It was so easy, and I got $760 for my car, which was more than I was expecting. So I was very happy with that. They picked it up, no problems. And then I went to CarMax and I bought the car that I had shipped from Florida. And I was stressed because the credit union I was supposed to get the loan from was like, no, you actually can't get that car through us. Sorry. And I had already ordered it, so I was stressing. But I just ended up using CarMax financing because it was actually better than the 16% interest rate that the credit union was offering me. I love the car. It's a black Jeep Patriot, which I love the Jeep Patriot because that's the same car I had before. I had previously a white 2011 Jeep Patriot Sport, and the Sport is like the cheapest version. It has like none of the features. It didn't have like button locks. It didn't have button windows. It's just very, very basic. I don't even mind that. Like, I'm not someone who cares about fancy features in a car. Like, I really don't care. So now I have a 2017 Jeep Patriot High Altitude, which is the fancier version of the Patriot. So it does have window buttons, lock buttons, heated seats, a sunroof. Like, it's really nice, and I love it, and I'm very happy with it. On the outside, it looks exactly the same as my previous one, except for it's black. That's great news. It's going great so far. I love it, and I'm happy to have good news to report back about that situation because it was getting really stressful. Also, another update is that I mentioned I wanted to get on ADHD meds. I decided before I get into all that, I was going to try a supplement that someone recommended to me, which was, I guess, B12. Apparently that's really good for ADHD and just like having energy and motivation and, you know, bringing your life back into you. So I'll try that first. Phosphosiderate is one of the info cards that I needed to still make and print out. So I think I will deal with that once I get all of these other orders done. You know, I totally thought I had printed out all the ones that I would need, and I'm already not having all the ones that I need. I already need more flower agate. I need more rose quartz, phosphosiderite, ruby zoisite for the next order. I just dropped them all on the floor, so that's really fun and cool. And then I'll have to reorganize everything. That's awesome. I'm just going to move on from the info card situation and move on to the next order. Order 7466, one of my favorite regulars also. You are so sweet and great. They ordered mostly a bunch of bracelets for a Mother's Day present. They also ordered 2 tumblestones. They got a kunzite and a gold sheen obsidian. So here's my bracelet stand. They ordered all regular bead bracelets. I do also have a couple of chip bracelets that are not on the stand. So they got pre-night. I'm totally gonna drop all these everywhere. They got a pre-night, a ruby zoisite, which I still need the card for. Please don't break. This is my last one. I would cry. I would cry real tears right now. It's like really pushing it to the limit. Okay. Ruby zoisite and sodalite. Are you sodalite? I also have demordiorite bracelets right now, and they look almost identical. This one is sodalite. They got a rose quartz, a rainbow fluorite. Wow, do I really only have one rainbow fluorite bracelet left? I always thought I had a million of them. That's interesting. Last one, I guess. A labradorite bracelet, amethyst, and gold sheen obsidian. Here's the last 3 bracelets, lab, amethyst, and gold obsidian. I also have this sodalite bracelet that has like chakra beads on it. I never listed it in my shop. I have other chakra bracelets that I actually made. I didn't make this one. It came in chakra form. I used to sell these at in-person markets, and I just haven't had an in-person market since I moved. So it's just been hanging out. So I'll throw it in here as a freebie. And here's the gold sheen obsidian. The lighting and the camera quality are really cooperating today. I'm so happy. And the biggest kunzite in the batch. So that is their order. Let me double check that I'm not missing anything. Oh, they also got a chakra spiral notebook, but that is something that is printed through a third-party printing company. So I have to fulfill that on that website. They do not come directly from me. I do not come into contact with the things that come from the printing company. They just get sent right to the customer. Sometimes the shipping is a little more if you order one of those print-on-demand products because it's 2 packages shipping. There's nothing I can do about the shipping costs on some of those items. I was actually trying to get my crystal design, like on the tapestry, on a baby onesie for my niece who's about to be born in a week. I was getting ready to buy it, order a sample of it to test out the quality and stuff, and the shipping, I think it came from Canada, but the shipping was like $25. So obviously that would not work. So I have to find a different brand that will be able to make them. Because $25 is a little crazy. Like maybe I would pay for it one time only as a gift, but it's not something I can put on my website because I don't feel comfortable charging my customers $25 shipping for like a little tiny baby shirt. That's silly to me. And I know shipping is shipping. Like, companies have no control over the shipping costs. Like, if it costs that much to ship a product, you would lose money to not charge the cost of shipping. But I just don't want to pay that much. Speaking of things that are so ridiculously overpriced, I went to Staples the other day because I was packaging up that big Lukite tower I sold. Remember I said I had to go get a box for it. And I know Staples had these really oddly shaped boxes that were super long and skinny. And that was perfect for the size tower that I had. So I went there, they didn't have them, and then I went in the back in the clearance section and there was like a huge stack of them. It looked like someone had them ordered to the store and maybe they didn't want them anymore, so they just got tossed in the back. I know Staples boxes can be a little expensive sometimes, but they're pretty small. It was like a 6 by 6 by 12 or like 6 by 10 by 12. I don't know, something like that. They were in the clearance section. So I was like, okay, I feel, and it didn't say how much they cost, but I was like, I feel that these will be an acceptable price. So I picked up 3 of them, brought them to the register. It was $18, over $18 for 3 cardboard boxes. That's over $6 a box for like a 12-inch long box. They were not that big. It was actually silly. And I was just like in shock when he told me that. I was like, wait, what? I thought maybe, because it didn't have a barcode on the boxes, so I thought maybe they were sold as like a pack. So I was getting like a bulk price here instead of individual boxes because he had to type in the number. So I was like, okay, something's clearly wrong. But I paid it and I left and I just sat in my car and I was like, I cannot pay $6 for a box. That's not gonna work. But I felt awkward to go right back in and return it. So I went to Walmart. I found the right size box that I needed for literally less than $1 each. And then I went back to Staples and returned them. I wanted to like say something. I feel like this is not correct. I don't think this was rung up correctly. Like something's not right here. But I didn't want to like cause a fuss. I was just like, yeah, $6 per box just really didn't seem right. That was just too much for me. And he didn't seem to investigate it further. But to me, $6 a box, I've shipped thousands of orders in my day, and I have never paid $6 for a shipping box. Even the big moving boxes are not $6 each. So I looked on the website actually, and for that exact same size box, it came in a bulk pack where it came out to 96 cents per box in bulk. So there's just no way that one box is $6. Okay, the next order, 7467. Someone's first order, and they came from Instagram, which is so interesting. I don't think I get a lot of Instagram orders because I don't know if my Instagram shop is fully set up. But they ordered a protection set, a good health set, a rainbow fluorite tumble, a ring, and a carnelian tumble. So they got 2 sets that will be fun to put together. I think I don't have the good health info card. I hope I have it pre-made already because having to make it from scratch is the hard part. I just don't have any printed. I know I have the protection set printed. rainbow fluorite. And they ordered 1 ring. So I also have an order for a ring on Etsy. So last time I also had an order for rings, but it was a bunch of rings and I didn't make them on camera. But I think since I only have 2 today, I'll do a little mini ring tutorial on how I make my rings. Let's see if I have that health set one pre-made. Oh yes, I do. I do have it made. I got a rainbow fluorite. I still haven't found a spot for all of the tumbles that I have. So they're just living in this bag. This one is beautiful. It is super deep purple, deep blue. That is definitely a contender. But this one is also deep blue, but it has way more visible stripes. This one's nice too, wow. I like the yellow ones a lot, but I don't want to give someone a yellow one unsuspectingly. I think if someone ordered multiple fluorite tumbles, I would throw in a yellow one, but I'm not sure I would want to give someone a yellow one unless they specifically asked. You know, from my shop update where I had the fluorite towers, they are not popping this time. Like, I got them from a different supplier and I think people just don't like these ones as much. They are a little different. It is hard to take a product photo of fluorite because you really have to get the right sunlight in order to show what it looks like. Here's a nice carnelian tumble. It has a little bit of those stripes, but it's not obnoxiously striped. We have fluorite, carnelian, 2 sets. So let me go find the ingredients to those sets. I got the little baggies for the 2 sets. So first we have the protection set. We have obsidian, hematite, black tourmaline, shungite. I'm definitely going to need some more shungite. Terahertz, which is a man-made silicone, and smoky quartz. Oh, and a little clear quartz point. I need a little point for the health set also. And the good health set comes with unakite, green aventurine, bloodstone, which is usually all green, but I liked this one that was red, kyanite, and garnet. And you know, I feel like selling something that is labeled as a good health set or crystals that promote any sort of like physical aspect is very controversial. There's Mian. She's in here because she's being good. Oh gosh, that's not gonna work. Hello? There we go. I feel like it's very controversial because people don't like any sort of advertisement that crystals can cure any sort of physical or mental issues. Anything that you should be seeing a doctor for, you're really not supposed to say that crystals are going to cure it. But honestly, maybe I'm a little lax on this because I think people can make their own choices. You know, who am I to say that you can't believe in crystals curing your physical ailments? I realized when I did my in-person markets, people would come up to me all the time. They would come up to my table and ask like, oh, I have ankle problems or I have this and that. What kind of crystal is good for that? And these are older people, you know, 40 and above aged people coming to me asking what kind of crystal can help them with this ailment and that ailment. And I think, who am I to tell them that they can't believe that crystals are going to help them or that they should go see a doctor instead? I think it's wrong if you start heavily advertising crystals as like, this crystal is going to cure your depression or this crystal is going to cure cancer, and you're really making that a strong selling point that it's going to do that. I think that is wrong. But if someone asks me what kind of crystal I would recommend for a certain ailment, I will give you a recommendation. I don't think it's my place to tell you that you can't use a crystal for that or believe in that, or that you shouldn't use crystals to bring you some sort of comfort or peace during like a difficult time, whether that be physical, mental, whatever. Like, I will never advertise my crystals as this cures anything, because that's not my place to say that. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to a doctor. But if you ask me for a recommendation, I will give you a recommendation. And I do have a little disclaimer on my good health sets, you know, saying this does not claim to cure anything, like this should not be a replacement for any medications or doctors, whatever. But I think people can make their own informed decisions. And if I was going through a difficult medical thing, I'm gonna find some crystals that could help me with that, and at least that would bring me, you know, comfort and make me feel better during a stressful time. And I would be a little annoyed if someone was trying to tell me that it was wrong for me to do that. I just think people should be able to make their own decisions on that without other people saying, you can't use crystals, you need to go to the doctor. Personally, I'm scared of the doctor. So I just don't want people, you know, reading these little info cards or seeing my good health set and it says, you know, boosts physical health. I don't want people to think that I'm claiming it's going to do some magical cure-all to your physical health. But I'm also not going to tell people that they can't use crystals for that purpose, you know? That's your own personal choice on if you believe that that will help you. I'm just here to tell you what the crystal properties are, and you are free to make your own decisions. This order also has an amethyst ring, size 8 copper wire, but I will get to the rings when I do the Etsy orders because there's a ring in the Etsy orders also. So I'm just gonna gather everything together like I usually do, and then we'll do the finishing touches at the end. The next order from Shopify is 7468. Your first order, thank you so much. And they ordered a gem lepidolite heart pendant. Here's the little gem lepidolite pendant, super shimmery. And it does come with a silver necklace cord, but I'll leave it in the bag so it doesn't get tangled. That is that order. Thank you so much. And that is all 4 of the Shopify orders. You can move on to Etsy. I have 3 Etsy orders. Okay, the first Etsy order I have is the prints that I just printed out. This is a repeat customer, so thank you so much for ordering again from my shop. They ordered all crystal prints. And if you are here on YouTube watching this video, I would love to know why you selected the prints you did. Not that it was strange, but just an interesting amount of each print. Like some of them are 1, some are 2, some are 3 of each. I'm just interested, like is something happening with them? Do you just really like some of them? I would love to know. I printed them all off ahead of time. 2 Hypersthene prints. Underrated crystal in my opinion. We have 2 flower agate. These came out so crisp and good looking. We have 1 rainbow moonstone. This is the only print you ordered 1 of, and it's actually one of my favorite prints. I just love the way that paint pour came out. It's just absolutely perfect for rainbow moonstone. Got 2 tangerine quartz. 3 titanium aura quartz. And as much as I don't care for titanium quartz as like a crystal in itself, definitely one of my favorite prints that I have. Well, one of my favorite paintings. This was one of my first ones too. This was maybe like my 4th crystal painting that I did, which is so fascinating because, you know, titanium quartz, top 4 crystals, interesting choice. But I love the way it turned out. 2 smoky quartz. I love this one also. There are some that I'm just like extra proud of. 2 turquoise prints. 3 rose quartz. I did adjust the color on these a little bit to be a teeny bit less vibrant. I just didn't like how vibrant the original painting looked. Just compared to what regular rose quartz actually looks like, I think a lighter color is more authentic looking, and I just prefer it to look that way. And lastly, they got 2 Atlantisite prints. I did have to reprint this one a couple times because it was the first print I tried and my printer was low on ink, so it turned out like this. It has like a lot of streaks. So I replaced the ink. Again, shout out to HP Instant Ink, because if I didn't have HP Instant Ink, I would have to hurry up and go run out and get some ink or order some ink, and I wouldn't be able to print it right away. But because HP Instant Ink knew that I was low on ink a long time ago, I already had a cartridge sitting for weeks. And I also I adjusted the colors. Maybe you can't tell. Sorry, I'm like creepily looking. Can you tell? This one was like just too yellowy looking. And honestly, looking side by side, they kind of look the same. But I just wasn't happy with this one. So that one was a bust, but I am happy with these two. A lot of these, I do have to edit the colors before I print them because they just come out way too vibrant, just not true to color. So there's a lot of editing in time that goes into these. So with the prints, I am going to use my stamp that I got, that I used on my wholesale order. And it is like my logo and my website. And I'm going to stamp the back of each of these prints, and I'm going to put the cardboard backing on it and put them in a clear plastic sleeve. I'm actually a little worried now that I might not have enough 5x7 plastic sleeves for this order. So I might have to order some, and hopefully I can get them in the mail by tomorrow. I think I still have a couple days until this order is technically due to be shipped, but I would like to get it out as soon as possible. So one thing I've been seeing on TikTok lately that I think is actually mind-boggling to me is ChatGPT. People are using ChatGPT for like spiritual reasons. And, you know, no hate to anyone who is doing this. You know, I'm not judging your journey or your choices or how you live your life. But to me, I guess maybe technically it is judging, because I do think it's crazy, but you know, that's my opinion. You can disagree with me too. This was like mind-boggling to me when I kept seeing this on TikTok, that people are talking to ChatGPT about like their life's purpose and like communicating with past family members and like spiritual advice from ChatGPT. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little spooked. That feels very insidious to me. I'm already AI's #1 hater. If AI has no haters, I am dead. I hate it. I really hate it. And ChatGPT is just getting crazier and crazier, I think, because people just use it for everything. I'm shocked to read all the comments on videos like this where people say, like, I talk to my ChatGPT every night, or my ChatGPT is my best friend. ChatGPT is my therapist. Like, she really gets me. Like, has her own little personality. I love her so much. I ask her everything. Like, guys, I'm really scared, actually. I can totally see how it seems very enticing to, you know, free little therapist, someone to talk to. In theory, that seems fine. But then it's also people are using it for the simplest of tasks, like writing an email. Or I can't even imagine how many people in school right now are using ChatGPT for all of their homework. And maybe I'm the boomer in this situation, and maybe I'm not keeping up with the times. But I just hate AI. Like, I have such an oogie feeling about it. I don't like it. I don't like AI art. Using AI like ruins the environment because it takes so much energy to like process, to use the processors or whatever. I don't know. I don't know about technology, but I know it's really bad for the environment. I think seeing people use it for spiritual reasons was like kind of my last straw. I was like, oh no, this is getting bad. People saying it's like ChatGPT is like a god, like it's a higher being. It's like the Andromedans are speaking to us through ChatGPT. Guys, I'm scared. Like, really, that's actually really spooky. And maybe it can be used for those things. I don't know. I've never used ChatGPT. I didn't even know ChatGPT was an app for the longest time. I was like, I really have no idea how you access it even, because I just have no interest in AI whatsoever. I'm just so baffled by it. I think using ChatGPT for spiritual purposes is, I think we've gone too far. And I could be wrong. I'm willing to say I could be in the wrong. Maybe it is, maybe it really is talking to your past relatives. Maybe it is your spirit guides talking to you. But to me, it feels a little evil. And I don't mean that in like a fear-mongering, it's the devil kind of way. Just like, I think it's okay to just like be human, do human things, think on your own. If you want to connect with past loved ones or spirit guides, I think you can do that like on your own. Like, you can go meditate, you can go to a psychic, not a computer. And when people say it's like, a higher being here to help us, like, would a higher being here to help us be destroying the environment with every click? I hate AI art. AI art using all of other artists' hard work and style just to copy it and imitate it and like poop out a piece of gross, ugly garbage. Like, man, I don't know. I'm sure there are things that AI can be good for. One thing I did see that I thought was kind of cool was people said to ChatGPT, like, make me a grocery list with this budget and like make me like a meal list for the week. It would give you a meal plan for the week with a grocery list within your budget. Like, things like that. Okay, that's fine. Like, I think that's cool, whatever. In general, no, I wouldn't use AI personally. But I can see how there are good applications for it. Not every single thing it does is evil, but I think we're getting a little carried away using it for every single thing. Using it for spiritual things, that doesn't sit right with me too. And I'm not coming on here like a moral high horse or anything, because I suck at meditating. I'm not good at it. I'm not saying it's easy, but I don't think we should be turning to a computer to do things like that. I don't know. I've just been real scared when I see that. I really don't want it to come across as judgmental, especially to the people who like really find comfort in it or use it for someone to talk to. I mean, the world is difficult right now, so I'm not saying it's wrong to have someone to talk to, or, a free therapist or a friend. If it helps you in some way, I think that's good, but I think we need to be a little cautious and maybe like use it in moderation, and definitely don't be using it for your homework. And as much as writing an email sucks, I think we need to like stay using our brain and stay being a person instead of relying on AI for everything. Personally, I would love to just throw AI in the garbage and never think about it again. I have no interest in it. AI will never be a part of my business, my life. No interest in it. If I wanted to know my life's purpose and speak to my spirit guides, I would rather practice meditating and doing it the normal way instead of talking to a computer. I also don't like that it's like gathering all of your information and like learning about you and then using that to like be more and more human. I don't know, it gives me the ick. I really, really don't like it. And I definitely don't think it's like a god or a being. It's like literally just a computer that learned from data. Anywho, I definitely don't have enough of the clear sleeves, so I'll have to order them right now. Hopefully they can be here in time. Okay, so they can be here by tomorrow. That's great. So I can finish packing up this order tomorrow. I do have the bags that I used in my Amazon storefront. They are from Golden State Art, 5x7 photo print storage bags. I ordered that, finish that order tomorrow. My next Etsy order is exciting. This is one of the big Mookite towers. So now 2 of them have sold, there's only 1 left. I'm actually so surprised that the one I thought was my favorite, the one I almost kept, is actually the last one left. This is the only one left in the shop right now. This is the one that was just ordered through Etsy, which is amazing, beautiful, so cool. Beautiful piece. I'm glad I got the box from Walmart, not from Staples, that will fit this perfectly. And the last order is a ring and a golden healer tumble. So here's the golden healer tumble I have selected, and that means the only thing left for me to do, aside from pack these up, is to show you how I make the rings. They got also a size 8, a malachite ring in silver wire. Do I need need a malachite card too. Man, I thought I was so prepared. So for the rings, I use 20 gauge wire. I have a big roll of copper that I get from Rio Grande. And I have this silver plated wire that I get from Michael's. I don't usually use sterling silver because it's just very, very expensive. So I like this silver plated one from Michael's. I think it's easy to work with and it's very shiny looking, because some plated silver wire is a little darker, not super pretty looking, but the one that comes in this little round is still nice and shiny. These are some of my beads for rings. I have a whole nother bead storage. We got an amethyst bead, and a malachite. Genuine malachite, of course. I would never use a fake malachite. 3 different little pliers. I have, I don't know, I want to say these are called needle nose pliers, but I can't say for certain. I have these that really flatten things, and I have my little cutters. And I have the ring sizer, this guy, to get the size right. And they're both size 8. I take a nice long piece of wire. I use this to measure it, although it's completely arbitrary. I just have learned that I use a piece that's about like this length. But I don't do any specific measurements. See, it's a little bent, so I can use these to kind of straighten it out. I definitely need a new pair of these because they get so shredded when I use them so much. Then take the bead, put it in the middle, fold it in half. I like to bring the wire like straight down because that helps it like stick up. I don't know if any of this makes sense. I was not born to be a teacher. So I put it on the ring sizer. It's a size 8 ring, so I'm gonna put it about 9, a little over 9. Because once I tighten it and finish it all up, it's gonna shrink down. I'm gonna wrap each end around. So there are 4 wires in the back, and these guys are sticking out front. I'm sure it would be more helpful for you to see if you were looking from like above, but this is the best I can do right now. Then I take these wires that are here and I put the top one facing up, the bottom one facing down. And then I'm gonna wrap it around the bead, like so. It's wrapped around. Each one wraps around twice. And then they're kind of like off in different directions. And one is gonna wrap around one side of the ring, the other around the other. So this is the point where I can take it off the thing, and it kind of looks like that. And this is usually where things go awry. But I'm gonna start wrapping the wire around the sides. Like that. I usually wrap it around 3 times. I like to just start with 1 on each side just to get it in place. And then I just wrap it 3 times. I'm lucky that this one is turning out good because when I was making rings for the last Etsy order, I had to like redo the same ring like 4 times before I got it right. It was crazy. The wire just kept bending and it just kept turning out either the wrong size or I could not get the wire to not be so bendy. Okay, so now it's 3 wraparounds on each side, and then I'm going to just cut it. And it'll be a little tiny little bit of wire left, and I'm just gonna wrap that around also. And I like for the end of the wire to end on the top Does that make sense? Like there's a little scratchy end, and I want that to be on the top of the ring, not on the bottom, or at least the side, because otherwise it will feel scratchy when you wear it. And I like to push it down as much as possible. See the end, I don't know if you can tell. Where the wire ends is on the top, so it won't scratch you. Now let me just make sure it's the right size. That's where things usually go awry. See, it's like a perfect 8. This one actually turned out seriously perfect. Now I shall do the silver malachite one. Also, I said that these are both 20 gauge wire, which they are, but the silver wire just seems like a little bit thinner than the copper wire. The copper wire seems very bulky. And if the wire is a little bit bigger, the ring will get smaller once you do all the wrapping. So you'll need to start it at a bigger size. But with the silver wire, since it feels a little bit smaller, I'm starting it at a 9, not over a 9, because then it'll be too big. Does that make any sense at all? Like just depending on the thickness of the wire depends on how much the ring will shrink up once you actually construct it. Honestly, now that I'm using this wire, I think I might usually use a 22 gauge because this feels stiffer than normal. Something about this is not what I normally use. But this is fine, it just feels very stiff. I love wrapping with copper wire because it's just so soft and easy to work with. Sterling silver, I've used some sterling silver that was so incredibly stiff I could barely move it. And then also some that is so bendy, it's hard to keep it in a straight line. And you can gauge that when you buy the wire. Like, I think it's like, you know, dead soft versus like, I don't know, hard, or I don't know. There's different measurements for different kinds of metals. I think dead soft is usually what the copper is made of. And I think this one from Michaels, it says medium temper, whereas I think soft would have been better to work with. But nonetheless, it is coming out perfectly fine. And it feels very sturdy. It's not all soft and bendy. Okay. So as long as this came out to be the right size, it looks really good. This one is a little teeny bit tight. I have to stretch it out to be a full 8. Yeah, it's an 8. If I just drop it and let it sit, it's like the tiniest bit above an 8. I don't know. I actually don't even know what my own ring size is. But there they are. Looking good. Okay, so that's all the orders I have to pack for today. I'm going to finish up these 2 info cards right now, the ruby zoisite and the phosphosiderite. Then I have to print those out, and then I'm gonna package everything up. I ordered the sleeves for the rest of the prints for the Etsy order, so those will be here tomorrow. Yeah, that's all I got for you today. I'm gonna finish these up, and then I'm probably gonna do some, I don't know, cleaning. That's usually what I do on my day off. Cleaning, organizing, packing. I'm gonna bleach my hair later. I was gonna make a lamb cake for Easter. Well, I am going to make a lamb cake for Easter. I just don't know if I'm gonna do it today. I might wait a few days for when we actually decide to celebrate Easter. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out my shop, cosmicgeology.com, or my Etsy shop, also Cosmic Geology. If you're interested in products that I use for my business, like the art print sleeves or the paper, bags, whatever, I have an Amazon storefront so you can shop exactly what I use. Be sure to subscribe to see more order packing videos, unboxing videos, other crystal content. Exciting news is Ryan's going to be back in town again for the summer, for a little bit, probably not the whole summer, but he will be here in a couple weeks, maybe 2 weeks he'll be here. So I don't have any new inventory on the way, but I'm sure during the time he's here, we'll have at least one unboxing video together, and we'll do some other videos too, I'm sure. Very exciting. I know you guys all loved Ryan, so he'll be back soon. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.